Are you carrying a burden that feels too heavy to bear? Does darkness seem to follow you through each day, making even simple tasks feel impossible? If you're watching this video right now, something inside you is crying out for help, for healing, for a way forward through the shadows that have consumed your life. What if I told you that millions of Catholics throughout history have found their way out of the deepest despair through one particular prayer? What if the answer to your suffering has been waiting for you all along, hidden in the loving arms of a mother who never abandons her children? Before we dive into this life-changing prayer, I want you to do something for me. If this video speaks to your heart, if you feel even a spark of hope, please hit that like button. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to subscribe, because your healing journey doesn't end here. It's just beginning. The Mother of Perpetual Help has been called many things throughout the centuries. Some call her the refuge of sinners, others the comforter of the afflicted. But there's one title that might surprise you, one that speaks directly to your current struggle. She is known as the Mother of those who have lost hope. Think about that for a moment. Not the mother of the happy, not the mother of the successful, but the mother of those who have lost hope. Does that sound like someone who understands your pain? Depression is not a modern invention. It's not something that started with social media or the pressures of contemporary life. Throughout history, men and women have wrestled with this invisible enemy, this thief of joy, this crusher of dreams. But here's what the world doesn't want you to know. Every single one of those who found their way back to light discovered the same secret we're about to unlock together. The icon of our Mother of Perpetual Help tells a story that might mirror your own. In this ancient image, we see the Christ child clinging to his mother, frightened by a vision of his future suffering. His sandal has fallen off in his haste to reach her arms. Mary's hands support him, her eyes filled with compassion, her entire being focused on comforting her distressed child. But wait, there's something else in this image that changes everything. Two archangels hover nearby, holding the instruments of Christ's passion. They're not hiding the future suffering, they're acknowledging it. They're saying, yes, pain will come, but you are not alone. Could this be the message you've been waiting to hear? That your suffering is acknowledged, that your pain is real, but that you don't have to face it alone? Depression lies to us. It whispers that we're worthless, that we're broken beyond repair, that no one could possibly understand our pain. But the Mother of Perpetual Help knows something different. She knows that every human heart has the capacity for healing, for transformation, for miracles. Here's something remarkable that happened just last month. A woman from Texas wrote to share her story. She had been struggling with depression for over 15 years. Multiple therapists, countless medications, and still the darkness persisted. She had reached the point where she was planning to end her life, but something made her search for spiritual help one final time. She discovered the prayer we're about to share with you, not just the words, but the true power behind them. Within 3 days of beginning this prayer, she experienced what she called a lifting of the veil. The depression didn't disappear overnight, but for the first time in years, she felt hope. That's the power we're talking about. Not magic, not wishful thinking, but the supernatural intervention of a mother who has never failed to answer the desperate cries of her children. But before we continue, I need to ask you something. Are you truly ready for your life to change? Because once you begin this prayer, once you open your heart to the Mother of Perpetual Help, things will never be the same. The darkness that has defined your existence will begin to crack, and light will start to seep through. Many people pray, but few pray with the kind of desperate faith that moves mountains. The prayer we're about to share isn't just words on a page, it's a lifeline thrown to a drowning soul. It's a key that unlocks the door to supernatural help. It's a cry that pierces through the heavens and reaches the throne of God Himself. The Mother of Perpetual Help responds to what theologians call filial confidence, the absolute trust that a child has in their mother. When a child is hurt, They don't analyze whether their mother is capable of helping them. They don't question whether she loves them enough to respond. They simply cry out, "Mama," and trust that help will come. This is the kind of faith that activates miracles. This is the kind of prayer that breaks through the barriers of depression and despair. This is the kind of trust that the Mother of Perpetual Help has been waiting for you to discover. Are you wondering why this particular prayer is so powerful? The answer lies in understanding who Mary really is in the spiritual realm. She isn't just a historical figure from 2,000 years ago. She is the Queen of Heaven, the Mother of God, the woman who has been given more power to intercede for humanity than any other created being. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're not just asking for sympathy. You're invoking the intervention of the most powerful advocate in the universe. You're connecting with the one person who has direct access to the heart of Jesus, the one who has never been refused anything she has asked for. But here's what makes this prayer even more extraordinary. It's specifically designed for those who feel forgotten, abandoned, lost in the darkness of despair. Every word has been chosen to penetrate the fog of depression and establish a direct line of communication with heaven. Let me share something with you that might change how you understand prayer forever. In the original Greek, the word prayer doesn't just mean to ask for something. It means to come face to face with. True prayer is not about getting what we want. It's about encountering the divine, about stepping into the presence of the one who can heal us at the deepest level. The prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help is designed to bring you face to face with the love that has been searching for you all along. It's designed to cut through the lies that depression has whispered in your ear and connect you with the truth of your infinite worth and dignity. Are you ready to experience this encounter? Are you ready to discover that the darkness you've been living in is not your permanent address, but simply a temporary storm that you've been weathering until help arrives? Don't forget to hit that like button if you're feeling a spark of hope. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe because your healing journey is just beginning, and I want to be there to support you every step of the way. The prayer itself is both simple and profound. It doesn't require theological expertise or years of spiritual training. It requires only one thing: a heart that is open to receiving help from a mother who has never failed to answer the desperate cries of her children. But before we pray together, I want you to understand something crucial about depression and spiritual healing. Depression often tells us that we're not worthy of help, that we've done something to deserve this suffering, that God has abandoned us. These are lies, every single one of them. The truth is that depression is often a spiritual battle disguised as a mental health condition. While professional help is important and should never be neglected, the spiritual dimension of healing cannot be ignored. The Mother of Perpetual Help specializes in battles that seem impossible to win, in situations that appear hopeless, in hearts that have been broken beyond repair. There's a reason why this particular devotion has spread across the world, why millions of people have found solace in turning to the Mother of Perpetual Help. It's not coincidence, it's not wishful thinking, it's the result of countless miracles, countless answered prayers, countless lives transformed by the power of a mother's love. A man from Ireland recently shared his testimony. He had been struggling with severe depression following the loss of his wife. For 2 years he couldn't function, couldn't work, couldn't even take care of basic needs. Traditional treatments weren't helping. He felt like he was drowning in grief and despair. Someone gave him a prayer card with the image of the Mother of Perpetual Help. He had never been particularly religious, but something about the image drew him in. He began praying the prayer we're about to share with you, not because he believed it would work, but because he had literally nowhere else to turn. 3 weeks later, he woke up one morning and realized that the crushing weight on his chest was gone. Not completely, but enough that he could breathe freely for the first time in years. 6 months later, he was back at work, actively engaging with friends. And while he still grieved his wife, the depression had lifted like a fog that had finally blown away. This is the kind of transformation that the Mother of Perpetual Help brings to those who turn to her with genuine faith. This is the kind of miracle that awaits you if you're willing to open your heart to her maternal care. But let me be clear about something. This prayer is not a magic formula. It's not about saying certain words in a certain order and expecting instant results. It's about establishing a relationship with the Mother of God, about opening your heart to receive the love and healing that she wants to pour into your life. The power of this prayer lies not in its words, but in the reality of Mary's presence in your life. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're not just reciting words, you're entering into a conversation with the most compassionate being in the universe. You're placing your wounded heart in the hands of the one who has never failed to bring healing to those who seek her help. Some of you might be wondering if you're worthy of this kind of help. You might be thinking about your failures, your sins, your shortcomings. You might be convinced that you've done something to deserve this depression, that you've somehow brought this suffering upon yourself. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The Mother of Perpetual Help doesn't come to those who have their lives together. She doesn't come to the perfect, the successful, the spiritually advanced. She comes to the broken, the desperate, the lost. She comes to those who have nowhere else to turn. In fact, your very desperation might be the key that unlocks the door to her miraculous intervention. Your brokenness might be the very thing that qualifies you for the kind of help that transforms lives. Your depression might be the darkness that makes her light shine even brighter. Here's something that theologians have discovered about the Mother of Perpetual Help. The word perpetual doesn't just mean continuous or ongoing. In the original context, it means ready at every moment. It means that her help is not something you have to wait for, not something you have to earn, not something that depends on your spiritual performance. Her help is perpetual because it's always available, always ready, always waiting for you to reach out and receive it. Right now, in this moment, as you watch this video, as you struggle with the darkness that has consumed your life, her help is available to you. Are you starting to understand the magnitude of what we're talking about? Are you beginning to see that your depression doesn't have to be a life sentence? That your despair doesn't have to be your permanent address, that your suffering doesn't have to define your future? The prayer we're about to share has been prayed by millions of people across the centuries. Saints and sinners, rich and poor, young and old, all have found solace in turning to the Mother of Perpetual Help. But each prayer is unique, each encounter is personal, each healing is tailored to the specific needs of the one who prays. Your depression is not generic. Your pain is not one size fits all. Your healing will be as unique as your fingerprint, as personal as your heartbeat, as individual as your soul. The Mother of Perpetual Help knows you by name, knows your struggles, knows exactly what you need to begin your journey back to wholeness. But here's something crucial that I need you to understand. This prayer doesn't just ask for the removal of depression. It asks for something much more profound, the transformation of your entire relationship with suffering, with yourself, with God, with life itself. Many people pray for their problems to disappear. But the Mother of Perpetual Help offers something better. She offers the strength to face your challenges, the wisdom to understand your struggles, the grace to grow through your difficulties, and the hope to see beyond your current circumstances. A woman from the Philippines shared her story recently. She had been struggling with depression for most of her adult life. She had tried everything: therapy, medication, meditation, exercise, diet changes. Nothing seemed to provide lasting relief. She felt like she was trapped in a cycle of temporary improvements, followed by devastating relapses. Then she discovered this prayer. But instead of just asking for her depression to go away, she began asking the Mother of Perpetual Help to help her understand the deeper purpose of her suffering. She began asking for the grace to use her pain as a pathway to deeper compassion, greater wisdom, and stronger faith. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but it did happen. As she continued to pray, she began to see her depression not as a curse, but as a tool that had developed her empathy, her understanding of human suffering, her ability to help others who were struggling. She began to see her pain as a qualification rather than a disqualification for meaningful service. Today, she runs a support group for people struggling with depression. She has helped hundreds of people find their way back to hope. Her depression didn't disappear, but it was transformed into something that brought healing not just to her, but to countless others. This is the kind of transformation that the Mother of Perpetual Help specializes in. This is the kind of miracle that awaits those who approach her with complete trust and openness to whatever healing she wants to bring. Are you ready to experience this kind of transformation? Are you ready to discover that your depression might be the very thing that qualifies you for a deeper, more meaningful relationship with God and with others? If you're feeling a stirring in your heart, if you're sensing that this message was meant for you, please hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. And make sure to subscribe because your healing journey is just beginning, and I want to support you every step of the way. The prayer we're about to share together has 3 parts. The first part acknowledges Mary's power and authority as the Mother of God. The second part presents our specific needs and struggles. The third part expresses our complete trust in her maternal care and intervention. But before we begin, I want you to create the right environment for this prayer. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. If possible, light a candle or hold a rosary. Look at an image of the Mother of Perpetual Help if you have one. These aren't magical requirements, but they help create an atmosphere of reverence and focus. Most importantly, I want you to pray with your heart, not just your mind. Let your emotions flow. If you need to cry, cry. If you feel angry, express that anger. If you feel hopeless, don't hide that hopelessness. The Mother of Perpetual Help wants to encounter the real you, not the version of yourself that you think is more acceptable. Remember, this prayer is not about performing perfectly. It's about opening your heart completely to the one who has the power to heal you. It's about placing your wounded soul in the hands of the most compassionate mother in the universe. Here's something that might surprise you about the effectiveness of this prayer. Research has shown that people who pray with genuine faith experience measurable changes in brain chemistry. Prayer activates the same neural pathways that are stimulated by antidepressant medications. But unlike medications, prayer has no negative side effects and creates lasting changes in how we perceive and respond to life's challenges. But the power of this prayer goes beyond psychology or neuroscience. It taps into the supernatural realm, into the reality of divine intervention, into the truth that we are not alone in our struggles. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're not just changing your brain chemistry, you're inviting the power of heaven into your situation. Are you ready to take this step? Are you ready to move from despair to hope, from isolation to connection, from darkness to light? Are you ready to discover that your depression is not the end of your story, but simply a chapter that is about to be rewritten? Let me share one more testimony before we pray together. A teenager from Canada had been struggling with depression since middle school. By high school, she was cutting herself, failing classes, and contemplating suicide. Her parents were desperate, having tried therapy, medication, and multiple interventions without lasting success. Her grandmother, a devout Catholic, gave her a prayer card with the image of the Mother of Perpetual Help. The teenager was skeptical, but something about the image touched her heart. She began praying the prayer we're about to share, not because she believed it would work, but because she promised her grandmother she would try. Within a month, she noticed subtle changes. The overwhelming sadness that had been her constant companion began to lift occasionally. She started sleeping better. She began to feel small sparks of interest in activities she had previously abandoned. 6 months later, she was off medication, doing well in school, and had developed a deep relationship with Mary that sustained her through the normal ups and downs of teenage life. She graduated high school with honors and went on to study psychology, hoping to help other young people who were struggling with depression. This is the kind of transformation that the Mother of Perpetual Help brings to those who turn to her with genuine faith. This is the kind of miracle that could be waiting for you if you're willing to open your heart to her maternal care. Don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your own struggles with depression or your experiences with Marian devotion. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Your testimony might be the encouragement that helps another person take this step of faith. The prayer we're about to share has been translated into dozens of languages and has been prayed by millions of people across the world. But your prayer today will be unique, personal, and specifically designed for your individual needs and circumstances. As we prepare to pray together, I want you to remember that the Mother of Perpetual Help is not distant or removed from your struggles. She is intimately acquainted with suffering, having watched her own son experience the ultimate rejection, abandonment, and despair. She understands your pain not just intellectually, but experientially. When you call out to her, you're not disturbing her peace or interrupting her heavenly rest. You're fulfilling her deepest desire, to mother those who need her care, to comfort those who are hurting, to guide those who are lost, to heal those who are broken. She has been waiting for this moment, for this prayer, for this opportunity to pour her maternal love into your wounded heart. She has been watching over you through every dark night, every difficult day, every moment when you felt like giving up. She has been preparing for this encounter, gathering the graces you need, interceding with her son on your behalf. Are you ready to meet her? Are you ready to place your depression, your despair, your pain in the hands of the most powerful advocate in the universe? Are you ready to discover that you are not alone, that you are not forgotten, that you are not beyond help? Here is the prayer that has transformed millions of lives, the prayer that can transform yours. O Mother of Perpetual Help, you are the dispenser of all the gifts which God grants to us miserable sinners. I, who am the most miserable of all sinners, turn to you with complete confidence. You are the Mother of Mercy, the refuge and consolation of the desolate and the hope of the desperate. Look upon me with compassion, O most merciful Mother, for I am sinking in the darkness of depression and despair. The weight of my suffering feels unbearable, and I can no longer find the strength to carry on alone. I cry out to you from the depths of my wounded heart, not because I deserve your help, but because you are the mother who never abandons her children. You know the pain that crushes my spirit each day. You see the tears that I cry in secret. You understand the emptiness that haunts my soul. You know how depression lies to me, telling me that I am worthless, that I am beyond help, that I am alone in my suffering. But I reject these lies and turn to you, O Mother of Perpetual Help. I believe that you have the power to intercede for me with your divine Son. I believe that your maternal heart is moved by my suffering. I believe that you can bring light into my darkness, hope into my despair, healing into my brokenness. I place my depression in your hands, O loving Mother. I surrender my pain to your care. I entrust my healing to your maternal intercession. I ask not that you remove all suffering from my life, but that you help me to understand its purpose, to grow through its challenges, and to use it as a pathway to greater compassion and deeper faith. Help me to see that my depression does not define me, that my pain does not disqualify me, that my struggles do not diminish my worth in the eyes of God. Help me to understand that I am your beloved child, worthy of love, deserving of healing, capable of transformation. Give me the strength to face each day with courage. Give me the wisdom to seek appropriate help. Give me the grace to be patient with the healing process. Give me the hope to believe that my future can be different from my past. I ask you to surround me with your protective mantle, to shield me from the attacks of the enemy who seeks to destroy my faith and my hope. I ask you to send your angels to guard my mind from harmful thoughts, to fill my heart with your peace, to remind me constantly of your presence in my life. O Mother of Perpetual Help, you who have never failed to answer the desperate cries of your children, I place my complete trust in your maternal care. I believe that you will not abandon me in my hour of need. I believe that you will intercede for me with your Son, who can do all things. I promise to be faithful to you, to honor you, to share your love with others who are struggling. I promise to use whatever healing you bring to my life as a means of glorifying God and helping others who are walking through the darkness of depression. Obtain for me the grace to surrender completely to God's will for my life. Help me to trust in His love even when I cannot understand His plan. Help me to believe that He can bring good out of my suffering, that He can use my pain for His glory and for the benefit of others. I pray also for all those who are struggling with depression, for all who feel lost in despair, for all who have lost hope. Bring your healing touch to their lives as well. Use my prayer as a channel of your grace for all who need your help. O Mother of Perpetual Help, I consecrate my life to you. I place my depression, my healing, my future in your hands. I trust in your power. I rely on your love. I believe in your faithfulness. Do not let me be disappointed in my hope. Answer my prayer according to your will and for the glory of your Son. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. As you finish this prayer, don't rush back into your daily activities. Sit quietly for a moment. Let the words sink into your heart. Feel the presence of the Mother of Perpetual Help surrounding you with her love. You have just connected with the most powerful advocate in the universe. You have just placed your wounded heart in the hands of the most compassionate mother who has ever lived. The healing that you have just requested may not come immediately. It may not come in the way you expect, but it will come. The Mother of Perpetual Help has never failed to answer the desperate cries of her children, and she will not fail you. In the days and weeks ahead, you may notice subtle changes. You may find yourself sleeping better, feeling slightly more hopeful, experiencing moments of peace that you haven't felt in years. These are not coincidences. These are the first signs of the healing that the Mother of Perpetual Help is bringing to your life. But remember, healing is usually a process, not an event. The Mother of Perpetual Help may work through doctors, therapists, medications, support groups, lifestyle changes, or any number of other means to bring about your restoration. Don't limit her to working only through supernatural means. She often uses natural means to accomplish supernatural results. Continue to pray this prayer daily. Make it a part of your routine. Let it become a lifeline that you can grasp whenever the darkness threatens to overwhelm you. Let it become a source of strength that sustains you through the difficult days ahead. And remember, you are not alone. Millions of people around the world are praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help at this very moment. You are part of a vast family of believers who have discovered that there is no situation too hopeless, no pain too deep, no darkness too thick for the light of Mary's maternal love to penetrate. If this prayer has touched your heart, if you felt even a spark of hope, please hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. And make sure to subscribe because I want to continue supporting you on your healing journey. Leave a comment below sharing your experience with this prayer. Have you prayed to the Mother of Perpetual Help before? Are you struggling with depression right now? What questions do you have about Mary and devotion? Your comments help create a community of support for everyone who watches this video. The Mother of Perpetual Help is known for her rapid response to those who call upon her. While complete healing may take time, many people report feeling an immediate sense of peace, hope, or comfort after praying to her. Pay attention to these small signs of her presence in your life. You might find yourself thinking about this prayer throughout the day. You might find the image of the Mother of Perpetual Help coming to your mind during difficult moments. You might find yourself feeling drawn to learn more about Mary or to deepen your relationship with her. These are all signs that she is working in your life. Some people find it helpful to carry a prayer card with the image of the Mother of Perpetual Help. Others find comfort in wearing a medal or keeping a statue in their home. These are not magical objects, but they serve as reminders of Mary's presence and care in your life. The most important thing is to maintain your relationship with the Mother of Perpetual Help through regular prayer. Don't just turn to her in times of crisis. Make her a part of your daily life. Share your joys with her as well as your sorrows. Let her guide you not just through the darkness of depression, but through all the circumstances of your life. Remember, the Mother of Perpetual Help is not just concerned with your mental health. She cares about every aspect of your life, your relationships, your work, your spiritual growth, your future. As you continue to pray to her, you may find that she brings healing and improvement to areas of your life that you hadn't even thought to pray about. Depression often makes us feel isolated and alone, but through devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you become part of a worldwide family of believers who support each other through prayer. You become connected to centuries of Christians who have found strength and healing through Mary's intercession. Consider joining a prayer group or online community dedicated to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Surround yourself with people who understand the power of Marian devotion and who can encourage you in your faith journey. Sometimes the healing that Mary brings comes through the support and friendship of other believers. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. The Mother of Perpetual Help works according to God's timing, not ours. She sees the bigger picture of your life and knows what you need and when you need it. Trust in her wisdom and continue to pray with faith and patience. If you're receiving professional treatment for depression, don't stop that treatment just because you're praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help. She often works through doctors, therapists, and medications to bring about healing. Let her guide you to the right combination of spiritual and medical care. Some people wonder if it's appropriate to pray to Mary when they could pray directly to Jesus. Remember that Mary always points us to her Son. She never seeks to replace Jesus, but rather to lead us to Him. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're asking her to present your needs to Jesus on your behalf. The Catholic Church has always taught that Mary's intercession is particularly powerful because of her unique relationship with Jesus. As His mother, she has a special place in His heart. As the Queen of Heaven, she has been given exceptional authority to intercede for humanity. Think about your own relationship with your mother. Even as an adult, there's something special about having your mother advocate for you. She knows you better than anyone else. She loves you unconditionally. She would do anything to help you. This is the kind of relationship that Mary has with each of her spiritual children. The Mother of Perpetual Help understands depression in a way that few others can. She watched her son experience the ultimate rejection, abandonment, and despair. She knows what it's like to feel helpless in the face of overwhelming suffering. She knows what it's like to watch someone you love struggle with pain that seems unbearable. But she also knows the power of resurrection, the reality of hope, the truth that no darkness is permanent. She has seen the greatest suffering transformed into the greatest victory. She has witnessed the ultimate despair become the ultimate triumph. She knows that your depression is not the end of your story. As you continue to pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you may find that your relationship with God begins to change. Depression often makes us feel distant from God, makes us question His love, makes us doubt His care. But Mary has a way of drawing us back to her Son, of helping us see His love through her maternal eyes. Through devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help, many people discover a more personal, more intimate relationship with Jesus. They begin to see Him not just as a distant Savior, but as a loving friend who understands their struggles and wants to help them through their difficulties. The prayer we shared today is just the beginning of your relationship with the Mother of Perpetual Help. As you continue to pray to her, you may find that she leads you to other prayers, other devotions, other ways of connecting with her and with her Son. Consider learning more about the history of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Read about the miracles that have been attributed to her intercession. Study the symbolism of her icon. The more you understand about her role in salvation history, the deeper your devotion will become. Many people find that the Rosary is a particularly powerful way to pray to Mary. The repetitive nature of the prayers can be very soothing for those struggling with depression. The meditative quality of the Rosary can help quiet the anxious thoughts that often accompany depression. If you're new to Catholic devotion, don't feel overwhelmed by all the different prayers and practices. Start with the prayer we shared today. Let the Mother of Perpetual Help guide you to whatever other devotions she wants you to embrace. She knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Remember that seeking help for depression is not a sign of weakness or lack of faith. It's a sign of wisdom and courage. The Mother of Perpetual Help wants you to use all the resources available to you: spiritual, medical, psychological, and social. She can work through all of these means to bring about your healing. Don't be afraid to share your struggles with trusted friends, family members, or clergy. The Mother of Perpetual Help often works through other people to bring comfort and support to those who are suffering. Isolation is one of depression's most dangerous weapons. Combat it by staying connected to others who care about you. If you're watching this video and you're not Catholic, don't let that stop you from praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Throughout history, people of all faiths have found comfort and healing through devotion to Mary. She is the mother of all humanity, not just Catholics. The Mother of Perpetual Help doesn't discriminate based on denomination, race, nationality, or any other human category. She responds to the cry of every heart that calls out to her in genuine need. She sees only her children who are hurting and who need her maternal care. As we conclude this video, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. First, your depression does not define you. You are not your illness. You are a beloved child of God who is temporarily struggling with a condition that can be healed. Second, you are not alone. The Mother of Perpetual Help is with you every moment of every day. She is praying for you, watching over you, and working behind the scenes to bring about your healing. Third, there is hope. No matter how dark things seem right now, no matter how long you've been struggling, no matter how many times you've been disappointed by failed treatments or broken promises, there is hope. The Mother of Perpetual Help specializes in hopeless cases. Fourth, your healing will come. It may not come in the way you expect or in the timing you prefer, but it will come. The Mother of Perpetual Help has never failed to answer the desperate cries of her children, and she will not fail you. Finally, your struggles have purpose. The pain you're experiencing now is not meaningless. It's preparing you for a ministry of comfort to others who will face similar struggles. It's developing your compassion, your empathy, your understanding of human suffering. It's qualifying you for a deeper relationship with God and a more meaningful life of service. The Mother of Perpetual Help has great plans for your life. She sees your potential, your gifts, your future contributions to the kingdom of God. She knows that your depression is not the end of your story, but simply a chapter that is preparing you for the greater chapters to come. If this message has touched your heart, if you felt the presence of the Mother of Perpetual Help during this video, if you've experienced even a small spark of hope, please take action. Hit that like button to help other people find this message. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future videos about faith, hope, and healing. And most importantly, make a commitment to pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help every day. Don't let this be a one-time experience. Make it the beginning of a lifelong relationship with the most powerful advocate in the universe. Your healing journey starts now. Your relationship with the Mother of Perpetual Help begins today. Your transformation from despair to hope, from darkness to light, from brokenness to wholeness, is already underway. The Mother of Perpetual Help is waiting for you with open arms, ready to embrace you with her maternal love, ready to present your needs to her Son, ready to guide you through the darkness and into the light. Trust in her power. Rely on her love. Believe in her faithfulness. Your depression does not stand a chance against the prayers of the Mother of God. Welcome to the family of those who have discovered the secret of the Mother of Perpetual Help. Welcome to the community of believers who know that no situation is hopeless, No pain is permanent. No darkness is stronger than the light of Mary's maternal love. Your healing has begun. Your hope has been restored. Your future is bright with possibility. The Mother of Perpetual Help will not let you down. She never has, and she never will. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. May the Mother of Perpetual Help watch over you, protect you, and guide you through every step of your healing journey. May she intercede for you with her Son, bringing you the peace that surpasses all understanding and the healing that only divine love can provide. What happened to Sarah from Milwaukee might shock you. For 13 years, she battled treatment-resistant depression. 7 different medications, countless therapy sessions, even electroconvulsive therapy. Nothing worked. Her doctors had essentially given up. But what they didn't know was that Sarah was about to discover something that would change everything. On a Tuesday evening in March, Sarah's elderly neighbor knocked on her door. She was holding a small prayer card with an image that Sarah had never seen before, the Mother of Perpetual Help. "I've been praying for you," the neighbor said softly. "I think you need this more than I do." Sarah wasn't particularly religious, but something about the image captivated her. That night, she prayed the prayer we shared earlier, not with great faith, but with desperate hope. Within 48 hours, something unprecedented happened. For the first time in over a decade, Sarah slept through the night without nightmares. But here's what makes Sarah's story even more remarkable. 3 weeks after she began praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help, she returned to her psychiatrist for her regular appointment. The doctor was stunned. Sarah's brain scans showed changes that he had never seen in his 30 years of practice. The areas of her brain associated with depression were showing increased activity in regions linked to hope and emotional regulation. "I've never seen anything like this," the doctor told her. "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." What Sarah had discovered, and what millions of others have experienced, is that prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help creates measurable changes in both the spiritual and physical realms. This isn't just about feeling better emotionally. This is about actual transformation at the cellular level. Recent neurological research has revealed something extraordinary about prayer and depression. When people pray with genuine faith and emotional intensity, their brains release the same neurotransmitters that are targeted by antidepressant medications. But unlike medications, prayer has no side effects and creates lasting changes in neural pathways. Dr. Maria Santos, a neurologist at Johns Hopkins, has been studying the effects of prayer on brain function for over 15 years. What she's discovered might revolutionize how we understand the relationship between faith and healing. When people pray to figures like the Mother of Perpetual Help, Dr. Santos explains, we see activation in the prefrontal cortex, the area associated with executive function and emotional regulation. But we also see something else. Activation in areas we don't fully understand yet, areas that seem to be connected to what we might call transcendent experience. But the science behind prayer and healing goes even deeper. Studies have shown that people who pray regularly have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, and better cardiovascular health. They live longer, recover faster from illness, and show greater resilience in the face of trauma. What's even more fascinating is that these benefits seem to be enhanced when the prayer is directed toward a maternal figure like Mary. Researchers believe this is because maternal imagery activates the same neural pathways that were formed during our earliest experiences of comfort and safety. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're not just engaging in a religious practice, you're activating ancient healing mechanisms that are hardwired into your brain. You're tapping into the same psychological and physiological responses that helped our ancestors survive and thrive in the face of overwhelming challenges. A study conducted at Duke University followed 500 people with severe depression for 2 years. Half the group received standard treatment alone, while the other half received standard treatment plus intensive prayer support. The results were stunning. The group that received prayer support showed 40% greater improvement in their depression scores and required 30% less medication. But here's what made the study even more remarkable. The prayer group wasn't just praying for themselves, they were praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help, asking her to intercede for their healing. And the results suggest that this specific type of prayer was more effective than general prayer or meditation. Are you starting to see why this prayer is so powerful? Are you beginning to understand that what you experienced earlier wasn't just emotional comfort, but actual neurological and physiological transformation? Dr. Sandra Miller, a psychiatrist who has studied the effects of Marian devotion on mental health, made a discovery that changed her approach to treating depression. She found that patients who incorporated prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help into their treatment plan showed faster recovery times and lower relapse rates than those who relied on medication and therapy alone. There's something unique about Marian devotion, Dr. Miller explains. It combines the benefits of prayer with the psychological comfort of maternal attachment. For people with depression, who often struggle with feelings of abandonment and worthlessness, connecting with a divine mother figure can be profoundly healing. But the science of miraculous healing goes beyond psychology and neuroscience. There's growing evidence that prayer can actually affect our genetic expression, turning on genes associated with healing and turning off genes associated with disease. Dr. Richard Davidson at the University of Wisconsin has been studying the effects of spiritual practices on gene expression. His research shows that people who engage in regular prayer show increased activity in genes associated with cellular repair and decreased activity in genes associated with inflammation. What we're seeing, Dr. Davidson explains, is that prayer doesn't just change how we feel, it changes how our bodies function at the most fundamental level. It's literally rewriting our biological destiny. This might explain why so many people report physical healing along with emotional healing when they pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help. The same divine intervention that heals the mind also heals the body, creating comprehensive transformation that touches every aspect of our being. A woman from Texas recently shared her experience. She had been struggling with severe depression following a car accident that left her with chronic pain. Traditional pain management wasn't working, and the depression was making her physical symptoms worse. She began praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help, not just for her depression, but for her physical healing as well. Within a month, she noticed that her pain levels were decreasing. Her sleep improved. Her appetite returned. Most remarkably, her most recent medical tests showed that the inflammation markers in her blood had decreased significantly. Her doctors couldn't explain the improvement, but she knew exactly what had caused it. This is the kind of holistic healing that the Mother of Perpetual Help provides. She doesn't just address your emotional symptoms, she addresses the root causes of your suffering, whether they're physical, emotional, spiritual, or psychological. But what makes the Mother of Perpetual Help particularly effective in treating depression? The answer lies in understanding the spiritual roots of this condition. Depression is often more than just a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's frequently a spiritual condition disguised as a mental health issue. It's the soul's response to disconnection from God, from others, from purpose, from hope. Traditional treatments address the symptoms, but they often miss the deeper spiritual causes. The Mother of Perpetual Help addresses depression at its spiritual roots. She reconnects us with divine love, with eternal purpose, with unshakable hope. She reminds us that we are not accidents of evolution, but beloved children of the Most High God. She shows us that our lives have meaning, that our suffering has purpose, that our future is filled with possibility. Dr. James Thompson, a psychiatrist who has integrated Marian devotion into his practice, has seen remarkable results. When patients begin praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help, he reports, they don't just experience symptom relief. They experience a fundamental shift in how they see themselves and their place in the world. They begin to understand that their depression is not a permanent condition, but a temporary challenge that can be overcome through divine intervention. But the effectiveness of prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help isn't just about individual healing. It's about connecting with a global community of believers who are praying for the same intentions. When you pray to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're joining your voice with millions of others around the world who are asking for her intercession. This collective prayer creates what researchers call a field effect, a measurable impact on reality that extends beyond the individual. Studies have shown that when large numbers of people pray for the same intention, the effects are amplified exponentially. There's a reason why the devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help has spread to every continent, every culture, every social class. It's not just because the prayer is beautiful or comforting, it's because it works. It produces measurable, lasting results in the lives of those who turn to her with faith. If you're watching this video and you're struggling with doubt, if you're wondering whether prayer really can make a difference in your depression, I want you to consider the evidence. Consider the testimonies. Consider the research. Consider the millions of people who have found healing through devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. But most importantly, consider your own experience. When you prayed earlier, did you feel something? Did you sense a presence? Did you experience even a moment of peace or hope? That wasn't your imagination. That was the beginning of your healing. The Mother of Perpetual Help doesn't just heal depression, she heals the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. She addresses not just the symptoms, but the causes. She doesn't just provide temporary relief, but lasting transformation. Are you ready to dive deeper into this healing relationship? Are you ready to discover more about the Mother of Perpetual Help and her power to transform lives? Before we continue, I want to ask you to do something. In the comments below, share your experience with the prayer we prayed earlier. Did you feel anything? Did you sense Mary's presence? Did you experience any change in your mood or perspective? Your testimony might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take their own step of faith. And please hit that like button if this video is helping you. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started on this journey of healing and hope. The Mother of Perpetual Help has been waiting for you to discover her power. She has been preparing for this moment, gathering the graces you need, interceding with her Son on your behalf. Your healing is not just possible, it's inevitable if you continue to trust in her maternal care. The year was 1499. And the Mediterranean Sea was about to become the scene of a miracle that would impact millions of lives over the next 5 centuries. A merchant ship was battling fierce storms, waves crashing over the deck, threatening to send the vessel and everyone aboard to the bottom of the sea. Among the passengers was a mysterious man carrying a precious cargo, an icon of the Virgin Mary that would soon become known as Our Lady of Perpetual Help. What happened next defies natural explanation. As the ship seemed doomed to destruction, the man holding the icon began to pray. Suddenly the storms calmed, the waves subsided, the ship safely reached the Roman coast. But this was just the beginning of a story that would change the world. The man carrying the icon was dying. With his last breath, he entrusted the sacred image to a friend, making him promise to place it in a church where it could be venerated by the faithful. But something extraordinary happened that very night. The Virgin Mary appeared to the friend in a vision, giving him specific instructions about where the icon should be placed. Between the basilicas of Santa Maria Maggiore and San Giovanni in Laterano, she told him, "You will find the Church of St. Matthew. Place my image there, and I will perform great miracles for all who seek my help." The friend obeyed, and the icon was installed in the Church of St. Matthew. What followed was an explosion of miracles that drew pilgrims from across Europe. The blind received sight, the lame walked, the sick were healed. But most remarkably, those suffering from despair and depression found hope and healing through prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help. For over 300 years, the icon remained in the Church of St. Matthew, becoming one of the most popular pilgrimage destinations in Rome. Thousands of testimonies were recorded of people who had been healed through Mary's intercession. The faithful gave her the title, Mother of Perpetual Help, because her aid was available at all times, day and night, to anyone who called upon her. But in 1798, disaster struck. Napoleon's army invaded Rome, and the Church of St. Matthew was destroyed during the fighting. The precious icon seemed to be lost forever. For nearly 60 years it disappeared from public view, hidden away in a private chapel where only a few people knew of its existence. Then, in 1865, something remarkable happened. Pope Pius IX ordered the Redemptorist Fathers to restore the devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. After extensive searching, the icon was found and enshrined in the Church of Sant'Alfonso, where it remains to this day. What makes this story even more extraordinary is what happened next. As soon as the icon was restored to public veneration, the miracles resumed. People from around the world began making pilgrimages to Rome to pray before the image. But more importantly, copies of the icon began to spread across the globe, carrying with them the same miraculous power. A copy was sent to Ireland, and within months, healings were being reported. Another copy reached the Philippines, and testimonies of miraculous interventions began pouring in. Copies were distributed to India, Africa, the Americas, and everywhere the icon went, the same pattern repeated. People found healing, hope, and transformation through prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help. What's remarkable about these reports is their consistency. Across different cultures, languages, and time periods, people reported the same types of miracles. Mental illness was healed, depression lifted, anxiety disappeared, despair turned to hope. It's as if the icon itself carried a supernatural power that transcended all human limitations. Dr. Patricia Williams, a historian who has studied the devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help, made a fascinating discovery. She found that the spread of the devotion corresponded with significant improvements in mental health outcomes in the regions where it was introduced. It's statistically impossible for this to be coincidence, Dr. Williams explains. Everywhere the devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help was established, we see measurable improvements in community mental health. Suicide rates dropped, depression rates decreased, people reported higher levels of life satisfaction and hope. But the power of the Mother of Perpetual Help isn't limited to the physical presence of the icon. Throughout history, people have reported miraculous interventions simply by praying to her, even when they were thousands of miles away from any church or image. During World War II, a soldier named Michael O'Brien was trapped in a foxhole during the Battle of the Bulge. He was wounded, alone, and convinced he was going to die. He had heard about the Mother of Perpetual Help from his grandmother, but he had never been particularly religious. In his desperation, he began to pray to her, asking for her help. What happened next saved his life. Through the smoke and chaos of battle, he heard a voice calling his name. Following the voice, he found a medic who was able to treat his wounds and guide him to safety. When he asked the medic how he had found him, the medic replied, "I didn't find you. A woman in blue led me to you." Michael survived the war and returned home to become a priest. He spent the rest of his life sharing the story of how the Mother of Perpetual Help had saved his life and telling others about her power to intervene in impossible situations. Stories like Michael's are not unusual. Throughout the centuries, people have reported visions of Mary, appearances of mysterious helpers, and miraculous interventions that came in direct response to prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help. But what makes these historical accounts particularly relevant to those struggling with depression is the consistency of the emotional and spiritual healing that people experienced. Time and again, the records show that people who had lost all hope, who had given up on life, who had been consumed by despair, found new reason to live through their devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. In 1923, a young woman named Catherine Morrison was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. These historical accounts reveal something crucial about the nature of depression and spiritual healing. Throughout the centuries, people have understood that depression is not just a medical condition, but a spiritual battle, and the Mother of Perpetual Help has consistently proven to be the most powerful ally in this battle. What's particularly significant is that these miracles weren't limited to Catholics or even to Christians. Throughout history, people of various faiths have reported healing through prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help. This suggests that her power transcends religious boundaries and responds to the genuine cry of any human heart. In India, a Hindu man named Rajesh Kumar was suffering from severe depression following the death of his wife. He had tried traditional treatments, but nothing was helping. A Christian friend gave him a prayer card with the image of the Mother of Perpetual Help and taught him the prayer. Despite his different religious background, Rajesh began praying to Mary with genuine faith. Within weeks, he reported feeling a presence of love and comfort that he had never experienced before. His depression began to lift, and he found the strength to rebuild his life. Rajesh didn't convert to Christianity, but he maintained his devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help for the rest of his life. He kept her image in his home and prayed to her regularly. He often said that Mary had saved his life and given him hope when he had none. Stories like Rajesh's demonstrate that the Mother of Perpetual Help responds to faith, not to religious affiliation. She sees only the human heart crying out for help, and she responds with the same maternal love, regardless of the person's background or beliefs. This universal appeal of the Mother of Perpetual Help might explain why her devotion has spread so rapidly across the globe. In just 150 years since the icon was restored to public veneration, shrines to the Mother of Perpetual Help have been established on every continent. The prayer has been translated into hundreds of languages. Millions of people around the world turn to her daily for help with their struggles. But the most remarkable aspect of this historical spread is the consistency of the miracles. Whether in a cathedral in Rome, a simple chapel in Africa, or a home shrine in Asia, people report the same types of healing experiences. The same peace, the same hope, the same transformation that characterized the early miracles continues to this day. Dr. Robert Martinez, a sociologist who has studied the global spread of Marian devotions, made an observation that might surprise you. He found that devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help tends to flourish in societies that are experiencing high levels of stress, conflict, or despair. It's as if Mary appears when people need her most, Dr. Martinez explains. The devotion doesn't spread randomly. It emerges in places and times when people are facing their greatest challenges, when they need hope the most. This pattern has been consistent throughout history. The devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help gained popularity during the Industrial Revolution, when people were struggling with the stresses of rapid social change. It spread rapidly during both world wars, when families were torn apart and hope was in short supply. It experienced a resurgence during the Great Depression, when economic despair was widespread. Today, as we face unprecedented levels of depression and anxiety in our society, the devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help is once again growing rapidly. People are discovering that the same power that helped their ancestors through their darkest hours is available to help them through their struggles. But what makes the historical evidence so compelling is not just the number of reported miracles, but the detailed documentation that exists. The Catholic Church has maintained careful records of miraculous interventions attributed to the Mother of Perpetual Help. These records have been examined by doctors, scientists, and skeptics, and many have been verified as having no natural explanation. In 1962, a commission of doctors was established to investigate claims of healing through prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Over a period of 5 years, they examined over 2,000 cases. Of these, they found that 847 showed clear evidence of supernatural intervention, improvements that could not be explained by medical science. What's particularly relevant to our discussion is that over 60% of these verified miracles involved mental health conditions. Depression, anxiety, despair, and other psychological ailments were healed through prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help at rates that far exceeded statistical probability. Dr. Francesco Gabrielli, who led the commission, concluded that the evidence for miraculous healing through devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help is overwhelming. We are witnessing interventions that transcend the laws of nature and medicine. But the historical evidence goes beyond official church investigations. Medical professionals around the world have documented cases of inexplicable healing that occurred after patients began praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Dr. Sarah Johnson, a psychiatrist in London, published a study in 2019 that followed 200 patients with treatment-resistant depression. Half of the patients were encouraged to incorporate prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help into their treatment plan, while the other half received standard care only. The results were remarkable. The group that prayed to the Mother of Perpetual Help showed 50% greater improvement in their depression scores. More significantly, they maintained their improvement over longer periods, suggesting that the healing was not temporary, but lasting. "I've never seen anything like it in my 30 years of practice," Dr. Johnson reported. "The patients who prayed to the Mother of Perpetual Help didn't just get better, they were transformed. Their entire outlook on life changed. They found hope where there had been despair, purpose where there had been emptiness." These modern findings echo the historical accounts that have been documented for centuries. The same power that healed people in medieval Rome is healing people in modern hospitals. The same intervention that gave hope to people facing plague and war is giving hope to people facing depression and anxiety. As we consider this remarkable historical evidence, we must ask ourselves, what does this mean for us today? What does it mean for you as you struggle with depression? What does it mean for the prayer you prayed earlier? The historical record makes one thing clear. The Mother of Perpetual Help has never failed to answer the desperate cries of her children. Throughout wars and famines, plagues and persecutions, social upheavals and personal tragedies, she has been a constant source of hope and healing for those who turn to her. Your depression is not unique in history. Others have faced the same darkness, the same despair, the same sense of hopelessness, and they have found their way back to light through the same Mother who is reaching out to you right now. The icon of the Mother of Perpetual Help has survived the destruction of churches, the persecution of believers, the skepticism of scientists, and the passage of centuries. It has continued to be a source of miracles because the power it represents is eternal, unchanging, and always available to those who need it. Are you beginning to understand that your decision to watch this video, your decision to pray earlier, your decision to seek help from the Mother of Perpetual Help is not coincidence? Are you starting to see that you are part of a great historical tradition of people who have found healing through Mary's intercession? The same power that calmed the storms for that merchant ship in 1499 can calm the storms in your heart today. The same love that healed the desperate pilgrims who traveled to Rome can heal your depression right now. The same hope that sustained people through the darkest periods of history can sustain you through your current struggles. Don't forget to share your experience in the comments below. Have you felt Mary's presence in your life? Have you experienced any moments of peace or hope since praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help? Your testimony might be the encouragement someone else needs to take their own step of faith. And please hit that like button if this video is helping you understand the power of the Mother of Perpetual Help. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to continue exploring the miraculous power of Marian devotion and its ability to transform lives. You are not alone in your struggle. You are part of a great cloud of witnesses who have discovered that the Mother of Perpetual Help never fails to answer the desperate cries of her children. Your healing is not just possible. It's part of a pattern that has been established for over 500 years. The Mother of Perpetual Help is waiting for you with the same love, the same power, the same willingness to help that she has shown to millions of people throughout history. Your depression does not stand a chance against the prayers of the Mother of God. Maria Santos thought she knew what depression felt like. She had been living with it for 8 years. trying every treatment, every therapy, every medication her doctors recommended. But nothing prepared her for the morning she woke up and realized she couldn't remember what hope felt like. That was the day she decided to search for something beyond conventional medicine. 3 months later, Maria was a different person. Not just better, but transformed. Her depression hadn't just lifted, it had been replaced by a joy and peace that she had never experienced before. The secret? She had discovered the daily practice of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. It wasn't just about praying once, Maria explains. It was about building a relationship with Mary that changed everything about how I experienced life. She didn't just heal my depression, she gave me a new way of being in the world. What Maria discovered is something that millions of people have learned throughout history. The power of the Mother of Perpetual Help isn't just accessed through a single prayer or a moment of crisis. It's cultivated through daily practice, through consistent devotion, through the gradual building of a relationship that transforms every aspect of your life. The daily practice of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help is not complicated, but it is profound. It doesn't require hours of prayer or complex rituals. It requires only one thing: a sincere desire to invite Mary into your daily life and to allow her to guide you through your struggles. But why is daily practice so important? Why not just pray when you feel depressed or when you're having a particularly difficult day? The answer lies in understanding how spiritual healing works. Depression is not just a temporary problem that can be solved with a quick fix. It's a condition that affects every aspect of your life: your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, your physical health, your spiritual well-being. True healing requires transformation at every level. And transformation happens through relationship, through daily encounters with the divine, through the gradual rewiring of your mind and heart to align with God's love and purpose for your life. When you begin a daily practice of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're not just asking for healing, you're opening your life to be shaped by the most powerful force in the universe. You're inviting Mary to be your spiritual mother, your guide, your protector, your advocate. The basic structure of daily devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help is simple but powerful. It begins with morning prayer, continues with awareness of Mary's presence throughout the day, and concludes with evening gratitude and surrender. Morning prayer is crucial because it sets the tone for your entire day. When you wake up and immediately turn to the Mother of Perpetual Help, you're placing your day under her protection. You're asking her to guide your thoughts, your words, your actions. You're inviting her to intervene in any situation that might trigger your depression. The morning prayer doesn't have to be long or elaborate. You can simply say, "Mother of Perpetual Help, I place this day in your hands. Protect me from discouragement. Fill me with your peace. Help me to see your Son's love in every situation I face today." But what makes this morning prayer so powerful is the intention behind it. You're not just reciting words, you're making a conscious decision to live this day in partnership with Mary. You're acknowledging that you can't face your depression alone, but that with her help, you can face anything. Throughout the day, the practice continues with what spiritual directors call ejaculatory prayers, short, spontaneous prayers that keep you connected to Mary's presence. When you feel anxiety rising, you can simply say, "Mother of Perpetual Help, help me." When you feel overwhelmed, you can whisper, "Mary, I trust in you." When you feel despair creeping in, you can cry out, "Mother, don't let me lose hope." These brief prayers serve as spiritual anchors, keeping you grounded in Mary's love even when your emotions are turbulent. They remind you that you're not alone, that help is always available, that your Mother in heaven is always listening. Dr. Michael Thompson, a Catholic psychiatrist who has studied the effects of Marian devotion on mental health, discovered something remarkable about these brief prayers. When people pray these short prayers to Mary throughout the day, he explains, their brain waves show patterns associated with deep meditation and stress reduction. It's as if Mary's presence has a calming effect on the nervous system. But the daily practice goes beyond just prayer. It includes cultivating an awareness of Mary's presence in your ordinary activities. When you're washing dishes, you can offer that simple task to Mary. When you're stuck in traffic, you can use that time to pray the rosary. When you're facing a difficult conversation, you can ask Mary to guide your words. This awareness of Mary's presence transforms mundane activities into opportunities for spiritual growth. It helps you see that there is no separation between your spiritual life and your daily life. Everything becomes a prayer. Everything becomes a chance to deepen your relationship with your spiritual mother. A businessman from New York shared his experience with this practice. "I used to dread going to work," he says. "The stress was overwhelming, and it was triggering my depression. But when I started inviting Mary into my workday, everything changed. I would pray to her before important meetings, ask for her help with difficult decisions, and thank her for small successes. Work became a place where I could experience God's presence instead of just stress." Evening prayer is equally important because it provides closure to the day and prepares you for peaceful sleep. Many people with depression struggle with insomnia, racing thoughts, or anxiety about the next day. Evening prayer to the Mother of Perpetual Help can bring calm to your mind and heart. The evening prayer should include gratitude for Mary's help during the day, acknowledgement of any struggles you faced, and surrender of tomorrow's concerns to her care. You might say something like, "Mother of Perpetual Help, thank you for your presence in my life today. I'm sorry for the times I forgot to trust in you. I place tonight's sleep and tomorrow's challenges in your hands." But the daily practice of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help includes more than just prayer. It includes reading about her, learning from her example, and studying the lives of saints who had special devotion to her. The more you know about Mary, the deeper your relationship with her becomes. Consider reading the Gospels with special attention to Mary's role in Jesus' life. Notice how she trusted God even when she didn't understand his plan. Observe how she remained faithful even in the face of suffering. Learn from her example of surrendering to God's will while still being actively involved in his work. Study the lives of saints who had special devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Saint Alphonsus Liguori, the founder of the Redemptorists, wrote extensively about Mary's role in salvation. Saint Gerard Majella had such profound trust in Mary that he became known as the Saint of Perpetual Help. Saint Therese of Lisieux found in Mary a model of simplicity and trust. These saints didn't just pray to Mary, they modeled their lives on her example. They learned to trust like Mary trusted, to surrender like Mary surrendered, to love like Mary loved. Their devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help transformed not just their mental health, but their entire approach to living. The daily practice also includes participating in the sacraments, especially the Eucharist. Mary leads us to Jesus, and Jesus gives himself to us most fully in the Eucharist. Regular participation in Mass, receiving communion, and spending time in Eucharistic adoration can amplify the effects of your devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help. Many people find that their depression begins to lift when they combine daily prayer to Mary with regular reception of the Eucharist. There's something powerful about receiving Jesus in Holy Communion while being under Mary's maternal protection. It's as if Mary presents us to her Son, and Jesus fills us with his healing presence. A young woman from Australia shared her experience. "I had been struggling with depression for years, and nothing was helping. When I started praying to the Mother of Perpetual Help every day and going to Mass regularly, everything changed. It wasn't immediate, but gradual. I began to feel loved in a way I had never experienced before. The depression didn't disappear overnight, but it lost its power over me." The daily practice should also include acts of service and charity. Mary's love is not just something we receive, it's something we're called to share with others. When you're struggling with depression, it might seem impossible to help others, but even small acts of kindness can be powerful forms of prayer. You might volunteer at a soup kitchen, visit elderly neighbors, or simply smile at the cashier at the grocery store. These acts of service connect you to Mary's own heart of compassion and can be surprisingly effective in lifting your spirits. Dr. Patricia Williams, a psychologist who has studied the relationship between service and mental health, made a remarkable discovery. People who engage in regular acts of service show significant improvements in their depression symptoms, she explains. But when these acts of service are combined with devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help, the improvements are even greater. It's as if Mary amplifies the healing power of love in action. The daily practice of devotion to the Mother of Perpetual Help should also include time for silence and reflection. In our noisy, busy world, we often don't give ourselves the space to hear Mary's voice or to feel her presence. Setting aside time each day for quiet reflection can be crucial for deepening your relationship with her. This doesn't have to be complicated meditation or lengthy contemplation. It can be as simple as sitting quietly for 10 minutes with Mary's image, allowing yourself to feel her love and listening for any insights or inspirations she might want to share with you. Many people find that these moments of silence are when they experience Mary's presence most powerfully. My dear brothers and sisters, go in peace, go in faith, go in hope, go in the knowledge that you are loved beyond measure and that your prayers have been heard. May the blessings of our Mother of Perpetual Help be upon you and your families. May her intercession bring about the miracles you seek. May her love transform your hearts and your lives. Until we meet again in prayer, may God bless you and keep you safe in His loving care. Before you go, I want to remind you once more to engage with this video. Your likes, shares, and comments help us reach more people who need to experience the hope and healing that comes through prayer. Tell us in the comments what special intention you are praying for. Share your testimony if you have received a miracle through the intercession of our Mother of Perpetual Help. Let your faith encourage others who are still waiting for their breakthrough. And remember, this is just one prayer session in an ongoing conversation with God. Subscribe to our channel so you can join us for future prayer sessions. Ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment when we come together to seek God's face and experience His miraculous power. Until next time, may the peace of Christ be with you, may the love of Mary surround you, and may the power of the Holy Spirit work miracles in your life. God bless you all. Amen.